Which is a not-for-profit organization with 10 full-time staff in 2012. And his group is the Sand Hill Group, the investors group. And you know Dr. Zenobia Sobel from yours faithfully from Chicago. Dr. Jane Green.
Reverend Jackson, this is my wife, Chris.
Hi, nice to meet you. Hello.
This is Reverend
Brian. He has
Yes,
been
we
very
like
good, dynamic. And we have the district attorney here who's going to keep us in line.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. Sir, how are you?
Neil Ford, Chicago Chairman of India. So we are ready to start. Brian.
We also have the director of the San Francisco COVID Command Center, who has been coordinating throughout the city. There he is, John McKnight.
Oh, great.
We asked him to just be here to
Would you like to say a
report,
few
so.
words in the press
John,
conference
thanks
too
for being
about
here
what
as
San
well.
Francisco is doing? He knew what he was doing and he got it done. And so that's what the press conference. And we in return, I think I want Emma to give the call that you will rally the Bay Area folks for a meaningful fundraiser for Rainbow Push. I mean, this is off the record, but this is what we need: people, leaders like this who are off the political track but still has great influence. Only people like him can make things happen for India and other countries around the world. So we are here to support you in full blood and let him hold the other hand. Because without Emma, he raised $10 million. We didn't even raise that, but he will raise a great sum for Rainbow Push.
Let me say this, I think that, first of all,
As well, the work you've done in the past. What the Indian community here has done really is to help our brethren and our sisters in India. So what we have done is provided a lot of relief, not just on the oxygen side, but also for migrant workers, for people who have died, the families of the destitute families and so forth. And in diaspora as a collective, we collaborate and connect with the whole community. To date, we've raised over $10 million and sent money to India so that they can feed the migrant workers who've gone home. They can take care of people whose the sole breadwinner has died. And so that's the kind of work this community has done. So we want to tell you about that, but also to make a plea to the US administration that they have to give more vaccines. As you know, as goes India, so goes the world in terms of the vaccine programs. So that's why we're here with you today, but also to celebrate Juneteenth and the pride you must have in making this milestone historic event happen.
well, let me express my thanks to all of you. We've got together in Chicago and began to mobilize consciousness there. We went to had a press conference in Chicago, in Atlanta, Indians there, in Washington, met with the president, vice president, discussing the same subject. Now we're out here. You really have to have a national mobilization.
As well as the director of our Silicon Valley Bay Area office. And let me say on behalf of Reverend Jackson and the Rainbow Push Coalition family, welcome to the Bay Area for all of our guests that are sharing from out of town and out of the area, out of the country, and wherever you may be even viewing us online. We welcome you to this special occasion. As you all know, Reverend Jesse Jackson is an international voice. He is the one that speaks hope to the hopeless all over the world. His mission for over 60 years now has been to be a champion for justice and for equality and for fairness. And in doing so, he has gathered this wonderful coalition here today as we've been going around the country, ensuring that many people that we love far from here, many miles away across the water, are getting the kind of support, treatment, love, resources that they need, especially in the difficult times of the pandemic, COVID-19. And so welcome to all of our special guests on stage. We're so excited that you are here, and we appreciate the fact that you're allowing us to be a part of this great work going forward. We thank President Joe Biden, obviously, for hearing Reverend Jackson's voice and acknowledging.
Now I have the great pleasure to introduce Dr. Vijay Prabhakar. He's a public health administrator, the global ambassador for the Rainbow Push. He also serves as the national chairman of the American Association of Multi-Ethnic Physicians, and is the president of the World Federation of Tamil Nadu. So our cohort in crime and our chief, Dr. Prabhakar.
Thank you. I think, as everybody said, today is a historic day. And all the people who are going to speak today and showcasing India's efforts to help, the diaspora's efforts to help India are here. And these are people who walk the talk, like MR, who's known as a man of resonance, a man of resources. He has raised through his agencies nearly $10 million for India COVID relief. We want to salute you, Mr. Rangasamy, for your indefatigable efforts. And he has also founded Indiaspora, which is a global network of Indian leaders for not-for-profit causes in USA and in India. And today, we have with us the living legend, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who's the name who has brought us all here together. And by his actions, you know that he was the one who
Thank you, Dr. Green. And you're coming on one of our warmest days of the year, so it's a great time to be here. Next up, we have a young person who is so taken up with the cause that he flew all the way from Phoenix. And he's only 17 years old, but he thought he wanted to make a statement, so we invited him up. It's Satya Padmanabhan, who is the Student Wing Secretary of the World Federation for Tamil Youth. Satya?
Thank you for that introduction, Mr. Rangasamy. And Reverend Jackson, sir, it's very exciting to join you this morning as you rally support for India. And yes, yes, I was born in Missouri about 16 years ago. And growing up, we finally have a dynamic presidency with President Biden. And it's just kudos to President Biden for showing us the way and bringing those vaccines to India. It means a lot, especially in these times. And because of this, I want to urge and say that 2 million doses are just not enough. It's amazing, and here's why that 2 million doses are not enough. Because a third pandemic, a third wave is about to hit India, and it's about to affect people like me, my generation, my brothers and sisters in India, and especially younger kids. And it is so critical that we need more doses as of now, because in these times, we need to urge President Biden, and we need to get 20 million doses in about 60 days. And of course, I just have to say, again, it is such an honor to be here, and 2 million doses is amazing, but let's push forward, strive forth, and get 20 million doses out there. Thank you all.
Next up, we have Neil Coate. He's the president and CEO of Rely Services and serves as the national chair of the Indian American Business Coalition. He's also been a founding member and former president of the Federation for Indian Associations of Chicago. Neil?
Thank you, Amar, and I'm truly honored to be here in front of Reverend Jesse Jackson. Our journey started from Chicago, moving on to Atlanta, moving to Washington, D.C. He is relentless, and we are so proud when no other leaders stood up for India. Reverend stood up. I mean, that deserves a big round of applause. Reverend stood up, and due to his efforts, I mean, I would say due to only his efforts, that the vaccines were released. Otherwise, there was a big diplomacy going on, but his push continued. We did it during breakfast times, calls were being made, evenings calls were being made to Biden administration, and I have seen the man in action. And the results are here. Even when Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, tweeted, he said the community did make an impact. So we do want to recognize that these efforts are not going to be wasted, and I also feel the day is not far when Prime Minister Modi and Reverend Jesse Jackson are going to have a meet, and we are working very hard behind the scenes to make that happen, because Reverend, you have to meet the Prime Minister, and these efforts have to be recognized. Apart from that, what he's doing to ambassador from India to US is also good to thank him very soon. He's waiting. He is just in New York right now. Otherwise, he wanted to make a thank you call for all your efforts, but the call is going to happen very soon. So today, after the rally, when we come back, hopefully at 2 o'clock, we will make that call happen. And the ambassador is equally eager to say thank you for all his efforts. So I think we have a great leader, a legend among us, and we are proud to share a dais with him. And the rally march against the bridge for Stop Hate Against Asian is equally an astounding march. And who better than an experienced person to lead the march? We had Mahatma Gandhi in India, and we have an equal person like Mahatma Gandhi, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all that you do.
Gracious and allowing us to serve you at this time. I do want to say that this year, 40 years ago, we were in Square across the street, Postmaster Square. More than 5,000 Asians showed up who had been locked out of the system, mentally and otherwise. And my closest person I know in the world, to me, frankly. For 40 years, Bush Wing saying, Bush Wing. Marasi, another one of those new fighters. Janine, maybe saying just took a break. Maybe this observation. One, we must form a rainbow coalition. These issues transcend limitation of one stripe of the rainbow. The idea of a pandemic is global for real. With America, oftentimes, when Putin and Russia, Putin and Biden met, they represent 7% of the world. Where the largest democracy is India. Rich soil, poor people, and brilliant people. A combination.